Ladies and gentlemen, optimism is not about ignoring reality. It's about believing that despite the challenges, despite the chaos, despite the uncertainty that surrounds us, there is still hope, there is still light, and there is still a reason to move forward. Optimism is not blind faith. It's the courage to see the truth and still say, I will try again tomorrow. It's not naive to believe in a better world. It's necessary. Because without optimism, we stop trying. Without hope, we stop building. And without belief in the future, we stop living. What keeps me optimistic about the future is not perfection. It's people. It's the small acts of kindness, the moments of courage, the sparks of creativity, and the willingness to care for one another that remind me we're far from finished. When I look at the world, I don't see failure. I see potential. When I see problems, I see opportunities to learn. And when I see darkness, I remember that light has always found a way to break through. The future is uncertain, yes, but uncertainty is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. It's the birthplace of innovation, the canvas on which we paint our next chapter. Think about it. Every great invention, every powerful movement, every inspiring story was born out of uncertainty. People didn't know what would happen. They just believed it was worth trying. And that's what optimism is. It's the fuel that pushes humanity forward, even when logic says stop. The reason I stay optimistic is because I see generations rising that refuse to accept mediocrity. I see young minds who are not afraid to challenge old systems, who believe that empathy and leadership can coexist, who are willing to question, to build, and to dream. This generation doesn't just want success, they want purpose. They don't just chase money, they chase meaning. And that shift, my friends, that shift gives me hope. There are days when it's hard. Days when the news feels heavy, when the headlines scream fear, when everything seems to be falling apart. And yet, even on those days, I remind myself that every generation before us faced storms too. The world has always been messy. Progress has always been painful. But we've always made it through because human beings are resilient. We adapt, we rebuild, and we find a way to make tomorrow better than yesterday. Optimism is not pretending everything is fine. It's looking at the chaos and saying, we can do something about it. It's standing in the middle of the storm and deciding that you will be the calm. It's waking up every day and choosing to believe that your actions matter. And they do. Because optimism isn't just a mindset, it's a discipline. It's a daily decision to show up, to care, and to contribute, even when it's hard. I've learned that optimism grows stronger when shared. When we come together, when we listen to each other, when we support one another, our hope multiplies. The reason despair spreads so fast is because it isolates us. It makes us believe we're alone. But optimism reminds us that we're not. It reminds us that we're connected, that our struggles are shared, and that our victories belong to all of us. When I think about the future, I think about the power of community. No one changes the world alone. Every great movement was built by people who believed in something bigger than themselves. They understood that optimism is contagious. One person's courage can inspire others. One person's belief can ignite a generation. And that's what keeps me going, the belief that we are all part of a bigger story. You see, optimism doesn't mean we ignore pain. It means we refuse to be defined by it. It means that even when the world tests us, we respond with compassion instead of hate, with creativity instead of fear, with unity instead of division. Because optimism is not about predicting the future, it's about creating it. It's about saying, I believe in what's possible, and I'm willing to do the work to make it real. Every time I meet someone who chooses kindness over judgment, who chooses service over selfishness, who chooses to lift others up instead of stepping on them, I'm reminded that the future is in good hands. Because optimism lives in action. It's not just words, it's what we do every single day. Think about the people who changed history. They weren't the ones who had all the answers. They were the ones who refused to give up. They were the ones who believed, even when everyone else said it couldn't be done. That's what optimism looks like. It's courage in motion, and here's the thing. The future will not be perfect. We will make mistakes. We will fall short. But that's okay, because failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every setback is a setup for growth. Every challenge is a chance to learn. The only real failure is giving up. The world needs more optimists. Not because everything is good, but because optimism makes things better. It's what drives us to build solutions instead of arguments, to heal instead of hurt, to create instead of complain. Optimism is what turns a broken system into a better one. When I look around, I see signs of hope everywhere. I see people using technology not just for profit, but for connection. I see communities coming together after disasters to rebuild stronger than before. I see individuals standing up for justice, for equality, for truth. These are not signs of a broken world. They are signs of a world evolving. A world that's learning, growing, and becoming more human every day. I've learned that optimism is a practice of gratitude. When you focus on what's good, what's working, and what's possible, you start to see more of it. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain, it transforms it. It turns struggle into strength, loss into wisdom, and obstacles into opportunities. We have to stop waiting for perfect conditions. The right time will never come. The right time is now. Because the future doesn't belong to those who wait, it belongs to those who believe. It belongs to those who dare to act even when they're uncertain. There's a difference between positivity and optimism. Positivity is saying, everything's fine. Optimism is saying, even if it's not fine, I'll still show up. It's the difference between denial and determination. Optimism acknowledges the mountain and starts climbing anyway. When you lose faith in the world, remember that the world is made up of people, and people are capable of extraordinary things. Every act of progress you've ever witnessed began with someone who believed things could be better. So don't underestimate your own power. Every time you choose to be kind, to forgive, to keep trying, you're changing the future. We often think of optimism as something we're born with, but it's not. It's something we build. Like a muscle, it grows stronger every time we use it. The more you practice seeing the good, the easier it becomes to find it. And eventually, you start to realize that optimism isn't just about the world. It's about who you are. The future will test us. There will be challenges that shake our confidence and moments that make us question everything. But those are the moments that define us. Because optimism doesn't mean we never fall. It means we always rise. When I feel overwhelmed, I remind myself of a simple truth. Nothing great has ever been built overnight. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Change takes time. And the only way to move forward is to keep believing that our efforts matter. I stay optimistic because I've seen what happens when people come together. I've seen the spark in someone's eyes when they realize they're not alone. I've seen hope reborn in places where there was once only despair. And that's what makes all the difference. No one can take away your ability to believe. No one can steal your hope unless you let them. So protect it, nurture it, feed it with gratitude, kindness, and courage. Because the world doesn't change when one person wins. It changes when one person believes they can make a difference. Optimism gives us direction. It tells us, this is not the end. It whispers, try again. It's what turns pain into purpose. It's what helps us see beyond the present moment and into the possibilities ahead. And remember, optimism doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to be limited by it. It means seeing what is and imagining what could be. That's what visionaries do. They don't accept the world as it is. They build the world as it should be. So, when you wake up tomorrow, remind yourself that your outlook matters. The way you see the world shapes the way you act in it. And the way you act in it shapes the world itself. Be the reason someone else believes again. Be the reason someone finds hope. Be the spark that lights the path forward. Because no matter how dark it gets, the light always returns. Humanity has always risen from its challenges stronger than before. Every time we've faced despair, we've built resilience. Every time we've faced conflict, we've learned empathy. And every time we've faced uncertainty, we've discovered courage we didn't know we had. That's what keeps me optimistic about the future. Not perfection, but progress. Not guarantees, but the potential we all hold inside us. The world will continue to evolve, and as long as we keep choosing kindness, purpose, and hope, there will always be a reason to believe.